Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for October 22nd, 2021. Breitbart News reports, Washington Post, Americans should try to lower expectations, accept Biden's supply chain crisis. In what seems like an attempt to distance President Joe Biden from the supply chain crisis ravaging the country and the globe, the Washington Post published an op-ed on Monday telling American consumers to try to lower expectations moving forward. A portion of the op-ed read, quote, rather than living constantly on the verge of throwing a fit and risking taking it out on overwhelmed servers, struggling shop owners, or late-arriving delivery people, we do ourselves a favor by consciously lowering expectations. The author then seemingly mocked Americans for questioning the massive and devastating inflation and supply chain failures that they are witnessing, problems which can significantly damage the lives of average Americans living paycheck to paycheck. In response, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows posted on Twitter, "Try to lower your expectations is becoming the theme of Joe Biden's America." An article from Fox News states, Terry McAuliffe abruptly ends interview, tells local Virginia reporter, "You should have asked better questions." Democratic gubernatorial candidate Terry McAuliffe cut his interview short with a local Virginia TV station and scolded the reporter for not asking, quote, better questions. WJLA7 News reporter Nick Minock conducted interviews with the former governor and his GOP rival Glenn Youngkin, sharing highlights on air while releasing the full interviews and transcripts online. However, WJLA anchor Jonathan Elias offered a disclaimer to viewers who may have noticed that Youngkin's interview was much longer than McAuliffe's.
So if you watch those entire interviews on our website, we do want to point out that the Terry McAuliffe interview is shorter than our interview with Glenn Youngkin. That was not by our doing. Nick offered both candidates 20 minutes exactly to be fair for the interviews. McAuliffe abruptly ended 7 News' interview after just 10 minutes and told Nick that he should have asked better questions and that Nick should have asked questions 7 News viewers care about. That's what he said.
And finally.
Okay. All right, we're over. That's it. Hey, I gave you extra time. Come on, man. You should have asked better questions early on. You should have asked questions your viewers care about.
Well, we did.
During the interview with McAuliffe, Minock began by pressing him on his controversial remarks at last month's gubernatorial debate, where he said, quote, I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach. And finally, an emotional video from 7 News in Miami reports, 72 South Florida veterans welcome back at Miami after honor flight to D.C. 6 dozen South Florida veterans were given a hero's welcome home after they visited the nation's capital through the organization Honor Flight South Florida. The war veterans, including 60-plus Chairman Jim Martin's brother Bob Martin, were honored with a special flight and returned to Miami International Airport on Sunday.
Dozens of veterans taking to the skies for one more mission.
It is a special salute for those who served our country during previous wars. 7's Nicole Ensalada was there for this honor flight, and she takes us on board.
They're neighbors, colleagues, friends who've built careers, raised families. But a lifetime ago...
My name is Howard Alexander. Of course, I was a Vietnam veteran, and I served from 1967 to 1974.
Brendan Doyle, 1st Infantry Battalion, 1st and 18th Infantry Battalion.
Sue Alderati, and I served between 1964 and 1968.
Frank Cornigan. I flew all over Vietnam. Shot out many times. Hit only once.
72 veterans, mostly of the Vietnam War and a handful from the Korean conflict, headed to Washington, D.C. Sunday on an honor flight, a special journey to see the monuments built to honor them.
I just remember him as a boy, just loved cars.
On August 7th, 1969, Bruce Carter threw his body onto a grenade to shield his men during an ambush. His mother is joining this honor flight, knowing her son will be forever 19.
My gosh. Would Bruce have gray hair? Would he look like you? Would he have a beard? So you really don't know. And all he wanted was to be a Marine, and he was.
These would be his peers, fellow grandparents, retirees, but many remembering someone who never left the battlefield.
My good friend Jim Dossett, who got shot by a sniper in the neck.
The nature of the injuries, seeing them go through the pain, that was the worst. Something that traumatic never leaves you.
A Miami-Dade Fire Department water salute sent the group off from Miami International and on to the nation's capital. And upon arrival, more salutes, greetings, and a short drive to the monuments, the places, the images that even in this time of division seem to unite. Angelo Rocco at 96, surrounded by his sons, is the oldest veteran here and served as a surgeon in Korea. What does it mean for you to be here?
Well, I'm all tied up. Can't talk.
This is the first South Florida honor flight without any World War II veterans. Of the millions of Americans who served in World War II in uniform, there are fewer than 300,000 left. That's less than 2%.
A lot better than this.
But on this day, it is the names on the wall commemorating the next generation's war that hits the hardest.
Samuel J. Parrish, killed 10th of February, 1969. I knew his name was Tennessee. I knew his name. I didn't know his name. And that's haunted me for 50 years. Is that Dale Sloan Wilkinson? Right here, baby.
A group found the name of Dale Wilkinson of Lighthouse Point, also killed in 1969.
Wrong place, wrong time. And just didn't forget about him. God bless him.
And on the plane home, mail call, words of thanks from family and friends. Before arrival at Miami International, cheers from grateful strangers for service from a lifetime ago.
Finally, it's happening now. Thank God. And we're going to use every bit of it. If we got some money, we'll take that too.
Nicole Insalata, 7 News.
Incredible program.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, in so many ways.
During the plane ride home, it was time for a special mail call. The veterans read messages and words of thanks from family and friends that brought some of them to tears. And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for October 22nd, 2021. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.